Hey, my name is Ashlyn. I just graduated from Lynchburg College last May. Millie and I met my sophomore year, her freshman year, through campus outreach.
My first impression of Julius was that he was, kind of this quiet guy. He was outgoing, but he wasn't like super extroverted.
So me and Hannah, we met last year, almost a year ago, and I had just moved onto the hall, so I was really new to everything.
It was probably now 2 years ago, but I took Seth to a black barbershop, and I would say it was a culture shock for Seth, and being there and seeing how people interact with one another.
We were in the same room together during New Year's conference and got to spend a lot of time together there. Both realized we were both weird, so we clicked.
I think that was the first time he realized what it was like to be a minority instead of being the majority. And so we got to talk and dialogue about that, and I think it really opened the doors for us to be able to understand, yes, we're different, but those differences shouldn't separate us. They should actually bring us closer together, because we get to learn about one another and know one another on a deeper level.
After going to New Year's conference, rooming with Ashlyn, we both got to develop a friendship, got to know each other more, and we also got to begin spending time with each other more, watching movies, being in a discipleship group together.
And just since then, at the beginning of our friendships, she was so intentional of just wanting to come and get to know me, and would just come to my room, or just come over and just I want to get to know you, I want to know about you, who are you?
One thing that I really like about the ministry of campus outreach is that they're not afraid to have those conversations and those talks about race and diversity.
In the past, I think at times I've been discouraged because I didn't think we talked about it enough, and I wanted to talk about it more. And I think it was even tough because I was one of two people who were on the staff team, or one of three people that were on the staff team that were of a different ethnicity, and sometimes I did feel like I was alone.
So I would say that Tafri and I, we always talk about race, we always talk about culture and ethnicity, and I never say that as in a bad way. It's been one of the most joyful, rewarding kind of conversations that we've been able to have.
We're just starting to learn and just starting to understand what does it mean to be racially reconciled to one another horizontally.
If I looked at people and said, what is there that's like God in them? I think I could learn a lot. And so
I come from a point where sometimes I don't know both sides, because I can just a lot of times know the side of hurt and come from the African American experience, but Ashley really brought in a good point of I should do more listening, that I should hear both sides and also see how the Lord can work in both sides and uses all types of people to work in a situation.
We weren't necessarily content to see just a bunch of different shades and types of people in one room at a catalytic event, but not have deep relationships. We really were desiring that people would be drawn first to God and then to one another, and that they would be excited to walk in a friendship and a relationship and to know God more and to make Him known on their campuses. And I believe that the Father is honored, and people who see these friendships and these relationships, maybe they will glorify God in heaven as well as they witness them.